expedition was a key event in the early republic. The expedition mostly took place in the newly purchased Louisiana Territory. The group, called the Corps of Discovery, was formed when President Thomas Jefferson needed somebody to explore the Louisiana Territory. The corps consisted of Meriwether Lewis, William Clark, Sacagawea, and 33 other trained explorers. The group did not find the passage which Thomas Jefferson needed to go to trade in Southeast Asia, but they did manage to get to the Pacific coast. The whole expedition from St. Louis to the Pacific coast and back took almost about 2.5 years. Okay, so Thomas Jefferson needed people when he bought the Louisiana Purchase for the harbor of New Orleans to explore this territory, this big plot of land that he bought. So he puts Lewis and Clark in charge of the expedition. Along the way, so they leave Camp Wood in St. Louis, Missouri on May 14th, 1804, and start the journey west. They leave on the Missouri River and take 3 boats with them, a 55-long mule boat and 2 other small boats. Along the way, they pick up Sacagawea, who becomes their translator and guide. This is important because this is where they will start their journey and where they will end the expedition. On April 29th, 1805, they kill their first grizzly bear near the Yellowstone River in Montana. In Clark's journal, he describes the bear in vivid detail. He and Lewis said that there was, quote, an abundance of game in the Northwest. The group was almost halfway there to the Pacific. When he described the bear, it was a male, not fully grown. We estimated his weight at 300 pounds, not having the means of ascertaining it precisely. The legs of this bear were somewhat longer of those on the black bear, as are its talons and tusks are incomparably larger and longer. He also says that we can scarcely cast our eyes in any direction without perceiving deer, elk, buffalo, and antelopes. This is important because it shows this place was not disturbed a lot. On November 34th, 1805, the Lewis and Clark expedition finally arrived at the Pacific coast in present-day Astoria, Oregon. The whole expedition, minus Sergeant Charles Floyd, who died of natural causes, reaches the Pacific coast. The group builds a fort to stay in until the storms die down, and the group will be able to head home. This is important because this is the moment that the group sees the other ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Okay, before heading back, they give the fort to the Clatsop Indians, which they named it after. The group, they go back, and then they reach home 2.5 years later. They return on September 23rd, 1806. Even though they didn't find the Northwest Passage, the group still returned as heroes.